Hey everyone, so some of you have asked me to make a video on perimenopause and menopause and that transition and why we have hair thinning. So there's 4 different things that I'm going to be going over with you today and just some solutions as well that maybe we can bring into our everyday life. So one of the reasons is, as we know, there's a decline in our hormones like estrogen and progesterone during that phase. And both of those hormones help our hair growth. So if we're stuck in that resting state, there's longer gaps between that time where the hair is resting and growing. So therefore we're going to be shedding a lot more, and then that's where that hair thinning starts to show up. Second reason is testosterone. So as the estrogen and progesterone decline, it's kind of natural for androgens to go up, like testosterone. And when there's high testosterone, it's actually shrinking the hair follicles, again, looking like there's hair thinning that's going on. And if our body isn't metabolizing the testosterone properly, so say for example, if you have a tendency to move testosterone through this one path, these enzyme called 5-alpha reductase, you end up increasing DHT in your body, which is dihydrotestosterone. When there's more DHT, it's actually weakening the hair follicles. So it's easier for hair to break, it's easier for hair to fall out, and again, be stuck in that resting phase. The third reason is high insulin levels or insulin resistance. So if we've had a diet full of processed foods, carbohydrates that are not necessarily good for us, insulin is that hormone that drives glucose into the cells. And there's a tendency towards insulin resistance when we're moving through perimenopause and transitioning into menopause. So there's already this susceptibility in the body. And when insulin is high, or when there's like resistance to insulin, something called local hypoxia happens at the hair follicle. So there's not enough oxygen going to that area. There's not enough blood flow moving to that area and moving the nutrients that those hair follicles need for growth. The last thing is stress. So this time, this transition can be really stressful for a lot of women because there's so much grief, I feel, that shows up. There's a letting go of our old life. There's a letting go of old roles that we've been playing. Maybe our kids are growing up, maybe our career is shifting, relationships are changing, especially to ourselves. We're doing a lot of reflecting of where we've been, where we are, where we're going. So it can cause a little bit of uncertainty in ourselves, and that stress will also create, constriction in our bodies. It's going to really influence our gut health, so we're not absorbing the nutrients. It's going to influence our immune health. It influences everything. So what are some things that we can do in our everyday to support ourselves as we're transitioning? Really recommend getting a Dutch test, because that's going to tell you if you are favoring that pathway into that 5-alpha reductase. Number 2, looking at our food, our nutrition. How are we nourishing ourselves every day? Are the foods that I'm eating causing that imbalance in insulin? Are the foods that I'm eating really providing those nutrients that my hair needs every single day? What does my gut health look like? So asking yourselves these questions when it comes to nourishment in our everyday life. A treatment that we can do is red light therapy on the scalp. It actually promotes that cell division and helps to decrease inflammation in the area, helps to grow, increase circulation. So that's a treatment if you have the capacity to either get one at home, or you have maybe a clinic that you can go to get some red light therapy. That can be really, really supportive for your system. And then of course, stress reduction. So I'm going to reframe that, not stress reduction, being able to navigate stress, being able to ask the questions, being able to stay curious and really ask yourself, like, what do I want to dream into my life today? And so I think if we're just conscious and aware that these changes are happening, and how we transition into that phase will dictate how we move forward. So really asking those questions of like, where am I lacking? Like, where are the hormones not doing what they need to be doing? And how can I support myself on an everyday basis? And maybe talking to your practitioner to understand that hormonal piece a little bit more deeper so that you can make the changes that you need.